Right now, 30 feet below the surface off the coast of California, a 2-ton shadow is learning your pattern. It's been watching the same seal colony for 3 weeks, memorizing routines, calculating angles, planning murder with the patience of a sniper. When it strikes, it will rocket from the depths at 35 miles per hour, launching its 4,000-pound body completely out of the water. Its jaws will clamp down with 4,000 pounds per square inch, 4 times stronger than a lion, twice as powerful as a crocodile. The seal will be dead before it understands it was hunted. This is the great white shark, the apex predator that evolution spent 400 million years perfecting. An animal so efficient at killing that it hasn't needed to evolve for 16 million years. We call them mindless killers. We're wrong. They're methodical, strategic, intelligent, and they're much, much closer than you think. The great white shark is what happens when nature decides to build the ultimate predator and gets it right on the first try. Start with the body: torpedo-shaped pointed snout, tapered tail. This isn't random, it's hydrodynamic perfection. Water flows over a great white with less resistance than most submarines. They cruise at 5 miles per hour using almost no energy. When hunting, they explode to 35 miles per hour faster than you can blink. The skin isn't smooth. It's covered in millions of tiny teeth called dermal denticles, each one shaped like a tiny wing, channeling water to reduce drag by 8%. Speedo copied this design for Olympic swimsuits. They were so effective they got banned. Inside, no swim bladder. Instead, a massive liver, up to 25% of body weight, filled with oil that provides perfect buoyancy control. They can hover motionless or rise and sink by adjusting blood flow to change the oil's density. A 2-ton animal with the grace of a ballerina. The skeleton: pure cartilage, lighter than bone but reinforced with calcium deposits at stress points. Flexible where it needs to bend, rigid where it needs strength. Engineering that human submarines can't match. But the true masterpiece is the head. The jaws: 300 teeth arranged in 7 rows. Teeth are replaceable. Lose one, another rotates forward. 30,000 teeth in a lifetime. Each tooth is a serrated blade designed to saw through bone. The bite generates 4,000 psi. But here's the genius. They don't just bite. They bite and shake their head violently, using those serrated teeth like a chainsaw. One bite can remove 30 pounds of flesh. The senses: this is where great whites enter superhuman territory. Smell: detect 1 drop of blood in 25 gallons of water from 3 miles away. Their brain dedicates 2/3 of its mass to processing smell. Hearing: detect low-frequency vibrations from 2 miles away. They hear sounds humans can't: the heartbeat of a hiding seal, the electrical discharge of muscle contractions. Lateral line: sensory cells along their body detect water movement. They feel the wake of a fish that swam by minutes ago. Vision: eyes with special reflective layers. In dim light, they see 10 times better than humans. They can roll their eyes back for protection during attacks. They're not just apex predators. They're biological submarines with sensor suites that put military hardware to shame. Part 2: The Hunting Intelligence. Forget everything you think you know about mindless sharks. Great whites are strategic hunters with techniques that reveal disturbing intelligence. The spy hop behavior. Great whites vertically lift their heads above water to look around, like orcas. This isn't normal shark behavior, it's learned intelligence. They're visually checking above water seal colonies, identifying targets before they enter the water. Off Seal Island, South Africa, researchers documented sharks spy hopping to study seal patterns. Different times, different seals enter the water. The sharks memorize this. They position themselves based on seal schedules. The ambush zones. Great whites create kill zones, specific underwater territories where success rates maximize. They'll patrol the same 100-meter stretch for weeks, learning every current, every shadow. In False Bay, they use the same attack corridors their ancestors used. Knowledge passed down through generations? Instinct? We don't know. But sharks return to successful kill zones year after year. The attack strategy. The breach attack isn't random violence. It's calculated physics. The shark positions itself directly below, in the prey's blind spot. It calculates distance, seal swimming speed, water conditions. Then, vertical acceleration, 0 to 35 miles per hour in seconds. The shark knows exactly when to open its jaws. Too early, and water resistance slows it down. Too late, and the seal escapes. If the first strike misses, they don't chase. Too much energy. They return to depth and reset. Patience over persistence. The learning curve. Young great whites have a 20% hunt success rate. Adults, 80%. They learn, they improve, they remember what works. Researchers tagged a shark named Nicole. She hunted the same seal colony for 6 years. Her attack patterns evolved. Early years, random strikes. Later years, specific times, specific angles, specific seals. She learned their patterns better than researchers studying them. The problem solvers. In 2019, drone footage captured something unprecedented. A great white in Australia repeatedly failed to catch seals in shallow water. After 5 failures, it changed tactics. It herded seals toward deeper water where it had advantage. It solved a problem. Another case. Sharks off Mexico learned to flip kayaks to access the fish being cleaned on top. Not instinct. Innovation. Part 3. The Ocean's Wanderer. Great whites don't just swim. They migrate with the precision of commercial airlines following invisible highways across the planet. The Pacific Highway tagged sharks revealed something amazing. Every year, great whites from California swim 2,400 miles to a spot between Hawaii and Mexico. Scientists call it the White Shark Cafe. Why? We don't know. There's less food there. No obvious mating. They dive repeatedly to 1,500 feet, then surface. For months. Theory. They're following electromagnetic highways. Earth's magnetic field creates invisible roads. Sharks navigate them like GPS. The impossible journeys. Nicole, a tagged female, swam from South Africa to Australia and back. 12,400 miles in 9 months. Straight lines across open ocean. No landmarks. Perfect navigation. Another shark, Lydia, crossed the entire Atlantic. First recorded transatlantic great white. 19,000 miles in 3 years. She knew exactly where she was going. The deep dives. We thought great whites were coastal surface hunters. Wrong again. They dived to 3,900 feet. Pressure that would crush human lungs. Water so cold it should shut down their metabolism. But they hunt in the deep. Giant squid beaks in their stomachs prove it. Why? Following prey, navigating by deep currents, using temperature layers to travel efficiently, all of the above? The generational roots. Here's the mind-bending part. Sharks follow routes their parents used. Sharks born off California return to the exact nursery areas. Sharks separated as pups meet at the same feeding grounds years later. Genetic memory, electromagnetic imprinting, cultural transmission, we don't understand how they inherit these maps. The Energy Masters. A 2-ton animal swimming 12,000 miles should need massive food. But great whites are energy efficient beyond belief. They use currents, riding them like escalators. They adjust buoyancy to glide for miles without swimming. They shut down unnecessary organs while traveling. A biological submarine on ultra-efficient cruise mode. One tagged shark traveled 2,000 miles on the energy equivalent of 30 pounds of seal blubber. A Prius with teeth. Part 4. The Killing Machine Mythology versus Reality. Hollywood lied. Great whites aren't what Jaws showed you. They're something far more complex. The numbers. Annual human deaths by great whites. 5 to 10 globally. Annual sharks killed by humans. 100 million. Who's the real killer? The mistaken identity theory is wrong. Scientists said attacks happen because sharks mistake surfers for seals. New research destroys this. Great whites have better eyesight than us in dim light. They investigate with echolocation before attacking. They know exactly what you are. Attacks aren't mistakes, they're investigations. Most attacks, single exploratory bite. Shark realizes human isn't prey, leaves. Unfortunately, one exploratory bite from 300 serrated teeth causes catastrophic damage. The real killer's bull sharks cause more fatalities. Tiger sharks are less selective. But great whites get the headlines because they're magnificent. We fear what we respect. The cage diving effect tourism changes them. Sharks associate boats with food. They become bolder. Attacks increase near cage diving operations. We're training them to approach humans, creating the monsters we feared. Why they don't eat us humans are terrible prey, too bony, wrong fat content. We taste bad to sharks, not enough calories for the effort. They prefer 400-pound seals with 6 inches of blubber. Part 5. The apex under threat. The perfect predator has one weakness: humans. The population crisis. 1970s. Estimated 10,000 plus great whites globally. 2024. Maybe 3,500 remains 70% population collapse in 50 years. The apex predator is approaching extinction. Death by 1,000 cuts. Finning. Sharks caught, fins cut off, thrown back to drown. 100 million sharks annually. Fins for soup that has no nutritional value. Bycatch. Commercial fishing kills more sharks accidentally than on purpose. Long lines, gill nets, trawlers. Great whites drown tangled in gear meant for tuna. Sport fishing. Killing apex predators for Instagram photos. Populations can't sustain trophy hunting of animals that birth 2 to 10 pups every 3 years. The ecosystem collapse, remove great whites, ecosystems fall apart. Seal populations explode, fish stocks crash from seal predation. Kelp forests die as herbivore fish vanish. Entire food webs unravel. Great whites aren't just predators, they're ecosystem engineers. Their presence shapes entire ocean communities through landscape of fear. Prey species behave differently just knowing sharks exist. The warming ocean. Problem: climate change pushes prey species north. Sharks follow. New territories, new conflicts, new dangers. Water temperature changes affect pupping grounds. Traditional nurseries become too warm. Pup survival drops. The plastic poisoning great whites at the top of food chain accumulate toxins. Mercury, PCBs, microplastics, flame retardants. Their bodies are toxic waste dumps of human pollution. Part 6. The Future of Fear. Great whites are adapting to us faster than we're adapting to them. The urban shark's climate change and overfishing drive sharks closer to shore. Cape Cod, Sydney, Cape Town, former rare sightings now daily occurrences. They're learning to hunt in shallow water, using piers and jetties as ambush points, adapting to human structures. The new behavior sharks following fishing boats for easy meals, learning boat schedules, recognizing individual vessels, behavioral evolution in real time, night hunting increases, avoiding peak human hours, temporal adaptation to our presence. The conservation success? Some populations stabilizing, California seeing increases. Cape Cod now has hunting great whites after decades of absence. Success creates conflict. More sharks mean more encounters. Protection leads to fear. Fear leads to calls for culling. Closing. The perfect predator's lesson. The great white shark is nature's masterpiece. 400 million years of evolution created the perfect predator. Not mindless, not evil, just perfectly adapted to rule the ocean. They navigate by Earth's magnetism, hunt with intelligence that rivals mammals, sense electrical fields we can't imagine, survive in ways that defy our understanding. Yet we're driving them toward extinction. The apex predator that survived ice ages, asteroid impacts, and continental drift might not survive us. But here's the profound truth. We need them more than they need us. Oceans without great whites collapse. Ecosystems without apex predators fail. Fear without respect becomes destruction. The great white shark reminds us that nature creates perfection we can barely comprehend, that evolution solves problems with solutions we're still copying, that apex predators aren't villains, they're necessities. Right now, a great white is gliding through dark water, sensing heartbeats, reading electrical fields, navigating by forces we're just discovering, hunting with patience we can't match. It's not a monster. It's not a mindless killer. It's nature's perfect predator. And it's counting on us to be smarter than our fear. The question isn't whether great whites will survive. It's whether we're intelligent enough to let them. The apex predator is watching and waiting.